Welcome to my daily review. You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Today is Wednesday, October 1st, the first day of October, and also the first day of the fourth quarter. The Nasdaq rallied after a little bit of weakness at the open. All we care about is the close, and you can see it closed near the highs of the session. It rallied 95 points today, or 0.42%, closed at 22,755. So getting close to that old high of 22,805. You can see the high was 782 and it closed at 755. So near the highs of the session. Of course, the high was made on September 22. What is that? 22,801. Okay, I'll take that. Pulled back a little bit and now it's rallying back up near 801. What is it? Today was 782. What is that? 19 points away from the all-time high. If that matters to you, it doesn't matter to me. Um, it's 4.8% above the 50 and 2.1% above the 5. Now I did tease that we had a little weakness at the open, so it gapped down here. Futures were down, the market gapped down, the index. And then all of a sudden buyers came in and it finished strong. That's what you want to see, a strong close there. It hit 22,782 maybe before, tailing off into the close a few points. But a strong day for the Nasdaq. Continue to melt up. But I'm going to get to the rotation in the market. In fact, I'm just going to go right there because we are seeing rotation, and that's always healthy. It's always a good thing. I know it doesn't feel good when they're rotating out of your stocks and into other areas, but if you own those areas that they're rotating into, it's kind of nice. And today it was pretty obvious that the fund managers were buying the drug stocks, and the drug stocks were definitely the stars of the day. Stocks like GlaxoSmithKline, they this is, you can see this is a breakout here yesterday and follow through today at 5%. And this stock doesn't move like this. You can see the small daily bars, and then all of a sudden, the last couple of sessions, like whoop, here we go. So it's had a great week. GlaxoSmithKline at 14% this week. Look at this weekly bar. It hasn't seen anything like this in a long, long time. AstraZeneca had a FDA approval yesterday, popped a little bit yesterday, but today, man, 10% move with the volume. That's a move not to be ignored. But if you look at the weekly chart, this is still, just breaking out of a base. So you think, this thing's extended. I don't want to buy it. Mm, it's still near a trigger point there at 82.41. Yeah, it's a tick above it, but it could pull back. Look at the volume, the move higher. Yeah, you got to like everything about that move by AstraZeneca. Now, Eli Lilly, another one that got a lot of love today, up more than 8%. Once again, look at the daily bars. We're not seeing bars like that in a long, long time for a stock like Eli Lilly, which is a big stock. This to me looks like, a turnaround, so to speak. You have the low here and grinding higher, and now all of a sudden it's breaking out of this, what I would call a stage one base right here. Yeah, really, man, sold off hard. And now it's breaking above that, old level there today. So that looks good on Eli Lilly, 825. What was that old 820? So yeah, just a tick above it. Looks pretty good to these old eyes. Just a lot of them in the larger cap stocks. I'm not going to go through all of them. Of course, Pfizer had the big news yesterday, followed through today. Now, these are big stocks. I didn't even look at Merck. Yeah, they're all, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. They're all just gravitating towards and even the CVS, hit an all-time high today. Yeah, these are the guys known for the long receipts, right? Paper wasters. But I want to get to some of the smaller stocks too. It wasn't just the large biotech or drug stocks. Some of these are smaller ones. This is a 2.3 billion market cap. Just breaking out of a base here. I got to take a look at the weekly chart. Yeah, this is looking fantastic. Had 3 weeks tight. Whoop, and now trading higher. Now the other one was INSM, which had the 3 weeks tight that failed us last week. Here it is. INSM at 3 weeks tight failed. Just shook fools out last week. And where is it now? Back to new highs, right? There it is. 3 weeks tight, undercut the 21 last week. And now this week, 3 straight days in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Out go the lights. INSM, that's very nice looking play. And that's what happens when in a shakeout. You think, oh, 3 weeks tight, it's an add-on buy point, just gonna buy, it's gonna go higher. Nope. They're gonna trick you. Oops, undercut the 21. I gotta get rid of it. Nope. It a zig and a zag. So if you're trying to trade that one, you got to know what's up here with INSM. These things are tricky. They're trying to fool you. ARGX, this has been a monster stock for a long, long time. Just go back to the weekly or the monthly. This thing just goes higher and higher, base after base. Now it's $767. Yeah, nice move today, 4%. So yeah, that looks really good. 46 billion market cap there. And then the one that I mentioned, I just posted this one on Twitter today just to tease people, like see if they would respond. Nobody responds. Manpower, excuse me, monopar just keeps going higher and higher, like the Energizer Bunny. I call them Tom Petty stocks, they just won't back down. They just want higher prices. And we're seeing that a lot of that. Another thinly traded name, just yeah, wants higher prices, and that's INHIBRX Biosciences. I guess if you have RX in your ticker symbol, that's always a good thing for a drug stock. GMAB, these are the ones that bought Maris Tuesday, or it might have been Monday morning. Yeah, it might have been Monday morning, but I was surprised that it was up on that news and then it continues higher. So even after the purchase, this thing is just romping. MRUS, this is the stock that it bought. It's just sitting way up here. So the longs here have a penthouse view. So that was a nice buyout. And it looks like GMAB is being rewarded for that deal. LENZ Therapeutics, another one just pulling back to the 21, finding support and bouncing, and that's what you want to see, making new highs. So a lot of stocks in this group, big, middle, small, they're all doing well, at least, this week. We'll see what happens going forward, but just wanted to point that out, the rotation. And, we also had the old standbys, those energy and gold stocks. Yes, I'm going to show you gold again today. Bloom Energy, sold off into the quarter close. And then, I think they want to buy Bloom back. So definitely made a new high today. And yeah, that's kind of the shakeout, the fake out, the shake out, and just see you later. That's if you're trying to trade this is very difficult because it's not giving you a chance to buy here out of a base. It's ripping higher. So you say, well, I'm going to take a swing at it. It pulls back to the 5. You go, oh, this is great. And then the next day, you're down here at the 21 and you got to sell because you're down 6, 8%. And then as soon as you sell, it rips higher as it bounces off the 21. So it's probably better to just buy and go golfing or fishing. Up 28% this week. I think we'll take that. Bloom Energy, a beast. OKLO sold off into the quarter as well, the quarter close, I should say. And I'm looking for this one to bounce. Not maybe not like Bloom Energy. That one is really on steroids, but I would expect this thing to trade higher, as well as LEU. This one just broke out of a base, 331. Nice. It's just surfing the 5 here. So that one looks good. And the one that I put on our ready list this week was Format Technologies, and it went through 100 today. I was a little surprised. The power, it's really a power through the pivot move there. I'll see, later on this week if it can continue to trade through 100 or if 100's going to be acting as resistance here. But yeah, nice move for Aura. So if you got some of that, congrats. That's a really strong move, and it's up, yeah, almost 6% this week. So good for Ormat. All right. I mentioned gold. I got to show you gold. They're just too strong. I mean, there's no reason not to own one of them. AU making new highs. Thank you very much. AEM, uh, it's up 1%, big deal. And that's kind of what they do. They're not going to blow your socks off. They just grind higher. This one was up 2.25% today. Excuse me, 2.4%. AGI is one I own. It's who cares? Big deal. It's up 2/3%. Just surfing the 5. It's mindless investing. Just put it away, and these things are just grinding higher. They're not volatile at all. You can see how tight these daily bars are. Pretty easy hold. So that's it for those two, powerful groups, the energy group and the gold group. I've got somebody mentioned to me that these coal stocks are obviously acting well. But Ramaco Resources, METC, Marge actually had pointed this out. And if you have information, if I make a mistake on a video, please point it out to me because I'm not a, I'm not really a coal guy. I don't know, and I don't know a lot of the stuff that is going on in software or these biotech stocks. I'm just more of a technical type of trader. And this thing's showing tremendous strength. And March says that they bought a critical minerals company recently, and it's kind of trading with that group instead. But there's a lot of strength in these coal stocks. You can see it's a top 30 group here, top 27, and this is Peabody Energy, BTU. You just got to disregard the fundamentals when we're in a raging bull market like we are now. And I hate saying that fundamentals don't matter, but right now you're just kind of trading technicals. There's a lot of these stocks that I'm showing you don't have, the growth profile that you'd want with a fundamental type of stock. HCC is another one in the coal group, and this one's showing strength well, but consolidating in a base. Yeah, that looks good. Little consolidation pattern. It's been a while. Trading tight within the base. Yeah, and it's shown the ability to make big moves, but it's been consolidating for a while. That's Warrior Met Coal. And the last one in this group is HNRG. This is Hallador consolidating within the base. This one looks good to me as well. So there's plenty of stocks to select from the coal group, and they look pretty darn good to me. But the group that's really just romping is this storage group. Micron up another 8% today. SanDisk is in price discovery mode. I've talked about this, just making new highs. Nobody knows, how high it's going to go or how long this is going to last. But I mentioned that they have 7 billion in sales and it's 17 billion market cap. That's current sales. Forward sales are probably, you know, 1.5 times sales. Right now it's trading at 2 times sales, but they're expected to be more growth here. So sales growth looking close to like 10 billion here going forward. And it's at 17 billion. So what, 1 times 7, 1.7, yeah, times sales, forward sales. So that is not an expensive stock, regardless of, this big move from 40 up to 120. It's already been a three bagger here. And SanDisk was a spinoff from Western Digital, and I just think it's in price discovery. I think it's going to go a lot higher. I mean, it's not going to go up every day like it has been, but I think obviously wants higher prices. And if you have SanDisk and Bloom Energy in your portfolio, 24 and 28% moves, you're doing pretty good this week. Yeah, bring on October. We'll take it. Uh, another one in the group, I mentioned Western Digital that spun off SanDisk. This one just, another 8% move today. These things are so strong, which reminds me of Pure Storage. Charlie Giancarlo's company pulled back to the 21, found support. Not bad, but not looking like those other ones and like Seagate. Yeah, just massive moves, man. Those four that I showed you are all up more than 8% today. Those are big, strong moves, and just looks like they want higher. All right, one stock. I'm going to kind of switch a little bit to the power equipment group, and that's Vertiv. And I screwed this one up because I was going to put it on my ready list going into that weekend. Had it written down because it pulled back here last week, and now we're going into the end of the quarter. Had a little blip on Monday, and Tuesday showed strength and got right near that buy point, and I didn't put it on. I'm kicking myself. This is the stuff I lose sleep over, where I should have had this on and put it out in front of everybody's eyeballs so they could have a nice 7% gain today, but I screwed it up. So that's trading. That's the way it goes. You can't kiss all the babies, but man, I had it right in front of me. Oh, I just missed it. It's like the Yankees loading the bases in the bottom of the ninth and not scoring and losing the game. This is another one, electrical power equipment. It was on my ready list a couple weeks ago, broke out. Now it's pulled back to that buy area, and I kind of like it there, right around $59. And then CAMT has just been just been a monster. This one, yeah, broke out. What is it going from 75 to 113 now? Very quick move, big move in a short period of time. ENS is another one I don't think I've featured. Power equipment. This one's just smoking, super strong, 4 billion market cap. ENS is the ticker symbol. Let me get to a couple other one of these. Oh well, I'm going to go to a little different group here, the fiber optics, Sienna. Surfing the five, that one looks super strong. And what else do we have? Oh, the battery one. Yeah, I guess I'm in power equipment, battery, whatever. EOSE, EOS Energy Enterprises up over 12 now. This thing's rolling up another 8%. Gosh, you see a lot of stocks up 8% today. That tells you something about this market and about where institutions are putting their money. So we want to be where the money is. Oh, you know what? I forgot one stock. I got to go back. The biotech stocks. I put this one on the ready list, and it's just consolidating in a base. All right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, consolidation, pull back to the five today. So don't give up on that one. All right, let me see. I'm going to move on to a different group, the Rocket Group, Rocket Lab, and ASTS. They had a news last night about the Thunderbird. I had mentioned that this morning, and I thought it would take off, and it certainly did launch. But if you missed it, and you're saying, "Wow, I missed this big move here," it's still consolidating in the base. You might want to wait for it to pull back a little bit. Yeah, it's 10% above the five, but there's your handle right here. As it pulled back, a handle requires, 5 days or more. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly right here. Your handle, and it breaks out. But still the buy point there is, 56.73 and it closed at 56.94. So it's extended from the five on the daily, but it's still at a trigger point. So it's not like it's long gone. This is still actionable, I believe. ASTS. The other one I wanted to look at was Rocket Lab. Anything that flies, they're really they want to buy these. This one's trading tight within the base. Had a fake breakout, pulled back, another fake breakout, pulled back. So this one's being stubborn. And I don't like stubborn stocks. It's got to be a little easier than that. Speaking of that, you hit the easy button on KTOS. This is the easy button, just surfing the five like Kelly Slater to higher prices. So those flying machine stocks are doing pretty well. All right, I think that's enough of that. Today I was looking for some pin action in Nike. I mentioned that on the post parade show. And Nike had a better day than I thought it would. It was up 6.5%, but you can see here, I mean, a kindergartner can see that it ran up against the 50, and that's going to be a resistance until it isn't. We'll see if Nike can power through here. It had big volume, but right there, it just, it's got to get through the 50, and it's got a lot of work to do. But my main point with Nike was, could it provide some pin action in some of the retailers? And I saw some, Levi Strauss, this is a great American company, Levi jeans and pants and jackets. Um, San Francisco-based company, Levi's. Yeah, Levi's Stadium where the 49ers play. There's a 6% move on the week. So yeah, nice breakout. So I think it got a little bit of help from uh, Nike, Garmin, another outdoor type of retailer. A consumer product. They're up nearly 4% today. That got a little bit of love. And some other clothes retailers, apparel, Gildan Activewear breaking out of a base here, up nearly 3% today. I did not have that on my radar list. I noticed it, but it is hard for me to put retailers on right now. They're just too weak. The majority of them are super weak, and I was looking for stuff in like Deckers to see if it could power higher, and not so much, or a Lulu, and it's just no, it's not happening there. The department store though, the dentist was in today and making new highs there, $630 at least it went over today. So, this one's just surfing the five. 634 was the high. Look at that breakout, just trending higher. The dentist looks fantastic. So I think that's it for retail. I don't want to get too deep into retail because it's not there yet. It's not ready. One of my favorite retailers is Bros, and this thing just keeps selling off. And I said, bring it in, let it come down. The more they bring it down, look at all the selling here, the more I like it because the fundamentals are still super strong. Story has not changed. If you loved it at 86, excuse me, if you liked it at 86, you should love it at 50, and maybe it'll come down even further. This is kind of ridiculous where Wall Street's just kind of rewarding, just ignoring some really quality stocks. And I'm going to make a video one of these days because this is not the only one. but I'm going to move on right now. There's there's a feeding frenzy for AI stocks, all things AI or anything AI, and they're kind of disregarding some quality names. The housing market got a little bit of a boost today because the ADP jobs data was pretty weak, and that kind of ensures rate cuts going forward, which we're going to get, I believe, anyway. But now the government shut down, we're not going to get our non-farm payrolls report on Friday. So this is the data. I think that they looked at it a little more, a little closer today. They scrutinized the ADP data. And, the home builders, I mean, I got to tell you, I'm a sucker for a chart, and that's a beautiful looking chart. So I like that one. That's a DR Horton. I like Pulte Homes. And I can't go on without mentioning Open Door. This one, if you own this like I do, very frustrating day today for the longs that it looked like it wanted to break out. If I go to a 5-minute chart, they had insider buying. Besides the weak jobs data, they had insider buying. They had Cleo Fields, a congressman, buying the stock. They announced new products. So this is super bullish news. And yeah, it ran up a little bit here to what, 880 and just sold out. They're diving into the close. Now it just retested this, area where it's been kind of loitering here. So I don't know, above eight. I'm 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 torn on this one because I know there's a lot of shorts and shorts are very stubborn and they're not going to let this thing go. They're going to keep shorting. They're going to sell us as higher up it goes, the more they're going to sell this thing. So I don't know. At some point, they're going to break, I think, and it's going to trade higher, but not yet. This thing's not ready yet. I do like it. Let me go to the weekly here. That it made last week's low was 691 and this week's low is 777. So higher lows I like. There's 691. This week's low 777. So it's just trading between 777 and 882 this week. So it's a dollar range. Not the end of the world, just an inside week. Probably just needs time, but you can see today I traded up against its four week line here. If I can bring that up. Yeah, the 4 week line. Okay, and then got rejected. So this thing has work to do. If you own it, I wouldn't give up on it. But there's too many other good stocks for me to be real heavy in this one right now because I just showed you a ton of stocks making new highs, and this one's kind of it's after a 1,400% move, it's just digesting gains. So it's a laggard in comparison to some of the other names. All right, so let me see. Oh, the building heavy construction stocks, yeah, making new highs. This one broke out and to new highs already, this Primoris. But the ones that I like that are still in bases, that are still, I believe, actionable, that you can buy, with less risk, I believe, is Quanta Services. You can see this clearly, the base. Now, it might need that 5 or 6 or 7 day or even more to form a handle once it hits that 420, call it 425. What was the high today? 423.72. But it just might rip through that area as well. Jacob Solutions, another one that I like that looks pretty good in this group. Just trading right there at that trigger point, 152.40. RPM reported earnings this morning, and this is a construction play. I know it says chemical paints, but this is Rust-Oleum, the makers of DAP, and they had accelerating sales growth, 4% to 7%. This is not one of those, it's not going to move like CoreWeave, but it's a quality stock, and you can see it, year after year after year, just doing really well. They're a dividend aristocrat, and you can see that if you just hold it, it pays you, and it's gone from what 12 to 120. So just a slow mover, but a quality company. They've had only three CEOs in existence, Frank Sullivan and then his brother, and now Frank Sullivan Jr., or maybe Frank Sullivan the third. You're talking three CEOs in like 80 years. So pretty incredible. It's a family business, well run. They treat their employees great. So yeah, RPM is a company that I really like. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, I can't go any further without mentioning these semiconductor names. Big moves today. And when the semiconductors are blowing it out like this, we're in a bull market. Lam Research, huge move. I think Taiwan Semiconductor was another one in this group making a big move. That's a big stock too. It's 1.5 trillion. CMR, another semiconductor, is a smaller one, just busting out here. A move not to be ignored, up 12% with volume. Dell. Oh, Dell. Another one that I saw that I didn't put on the ready list. This is like VRT and Dell. I saw both of these and I didn't put either one on. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some push-ups, run some laps or something. Some of the other names, KLAC. Yeah, I just ran up, had a little flag, now traded higher. So if those flags want to continue to work, I'm all for it. ASML breaking out of a base. I would say this is just, still, within a base here. And in regards to like, can I buy it now? Even though it looks extended, yeah, I think that weekly chart will tell you that this thing's just getting rolling and has plenty of room to run. TTMI, not TMI, TTMI, breaking out of a base here at 51 and trending higher, surfing the five. Another one. It's not the semiconductor, but the fiber optic stock pulled back to the 21 now, bouncing to new highs. That's light. Gosh, there's so many good stocks to choose from. I'm gonna have to stop right there though and just say, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. But in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that is I'm gonna get back to some of these large cap tech stocks that are set up in bases, which makes me just way more bullish than I normally am. And I try to play both sides of the fence because there's two sides. Like I say, in every trade, there's a buyer and a seller. There's supply and demand. There's support and resistance. And I know that these set up in bases and they look good. They're not all going to work. But when I see so many of these high caliber, high quality, large cap tech stocks set up in bases. I just, you'd be foolish to be bearish here, put it that way. I'm not, one of these perma bulls, but I think right now it's a good idea to be pretty aggressive. Palantir is another one. CrowdStrike, Palantir. Oh, geez. That's the thing of beauty right there. A couple people told me they bought it today, and I think that's a good idea. That's a nice little base. And this is it's a late stage base. I get it. People say late stage. Well, I saw Shopify with like 17 bases here. So don't let stage 5 or 6 base scare you out of a stock. Palantir looks fantastic. If the market's going up, Palantir is going with it, and so is NVDA, which this looks fantastic to me. It's just starting to push away from its base now. I think that one's going higher. A little slower mover. I mean, it's a 4.5 trillion market cap now, so it's not going to be ripping higher 20% on a day or even 8% like we saw with so many other names. But yeah, that one looks good. Since I showed CrowdStrike, what does Zscaler look like? Yeah, this looks good too. And Pan W, I'm just doing this on the fly. Not as a quality of a base there. Apple though, the iPhone 17, yeah, this is set up in a base too. I could see this one pushing higher towards 300. Microsoft, same thing. I'm going to show the weeklies on these. Yeah, just consolidating in a base. These things are going to, well, I shouldn't say that. These things are likely to break out. Spotify, their CEO, at 42 years of age, stepped down yesterday, which is kind of a yellow flag to me. I don't know why you would do that if things were going so great. Um, Maybe he wants to spend more time with his family. I don't know. Uh, yeah, it's kind of sketchy. It pulled back yesterday, but found support at the 50. But just looking at it technically, that's a nice looking base for Spotify. IBM, Big Blue, man. Yeah, this thing looks good too as well. Made that high of 296. This is way back in June. Now it's had the sellers sold off. Now you got the buyers, and then you get a little bit of a handle here. Yeah, IBM looks fantastic to me too. So it's just kind of like take your pick. That's a nice looking base for IBM. It's been 14 weeks in a base, so IBM might be ready to cook here pretty soon. DoorDash, this is one that I do have on my ready list, and it's fine, looks fine. Roblox, same. I had this one on my ready list. Popped Monday on the Electronic Arts News, and just kind of consolidating here. Snowflake, I like this one a lot. I haven't put this one on the right list, but I should. I don't know why I didn't. It was only up 2% today, so that's good. But just flagging here, we've seen these work a lot, a little pinch, and eventually it's going to bust out of that area. And you want to get in before 250. At least I do. HWM, a couple in the aerospace defense name. This one just biding its time, forming a handle. That one looks good. I showed you. Oh, this is one that I screwed up. AVAV in a base, and this one's gone now. Just pushed away. Just see you later. And I showed you Quanta Services, another one that I like. Yeah, so that one's set up in a base. So a lot of different areas, a lot of different groups, but there's these high-powered, high mega cap tech stocks are set up to move, and I think they will. Just give them some time. As I say, with the one constant in this bull market uptrend is the rotation. We saw a lot of rotation. Like I said, when you see Pfizer making moves like that, that's kind of abnormal. Anyway, thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.